Okay, so we finally got here. It was a bit of a mission, I've got to say. But yeah, we're finally here. Let's go and play some video games. One of the great developers that are here at Eurogamer is Relentless Software, which are a British-based company, really famous for doing the Buzz Quiz on the PlayStation Network, that kind of thing. They've been doing it for a few years now. And we were lucky enough to catch up with Jade, who is the producer of Blue Toad Murder Files, which is a new PSN title that's just about to be released. And yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about PSN, self-publishing, that kind of thing.
Sure, my name's Jade Tidy. I'm producer on Blue Toad Murder Files, which is a new game coming out on PlayStation Store in December. It's a murder mystery game with puzzles. So the core part of the game is the murder mystery. It's like a traditional whodunit. So you come into the village, you play one of the Blue Toad detectives, and somebody is killed in front of you, and you then have to work out who killed them. So you'll be introduced to the 4 suspects, and you'll have to work out which one it is.
Okay, that's fantastic. So what sort of demographic are you aiming for here? Are you going for the sort of core gamer? Are you going for a more casual family gamer? What sort of...
We want it to be really open to everybody. As a company, we make social games. So games that will get the interaction going in the room and get people talking to each other and playing together. We don't make racing games. We don't make shooting games. And so after making Buzz and that being a great success, we knew that we wanted to make another social game, and we didn't really try to, I guess, stereotype ourselves. We wanted to make it one that would be appealing to all ages, so we've tried to do that with the game, so that it's easy to pick up and play. You're not going to have to learn any complicated controls. The challenge comes in from actually playing the game, and I think the way that we've gone about with the script is it will be appealing to adults. I guess some things that maybe the younger children won't get, but they'll still be able to play along with the mystery, whereas the adults will be able to, get a few more of our jokes and the humour from it.
After this is wildly successful, where does Relentless where does Relentless go after this?
I'd really like to make a series 2. If this is really good and and it's well received, I'm going to say that because I'm working on it, but yeah, I would love to make a second one. I think on our website we've announced that we're working on Secret Project number 2. Okay.
So, any sort of small little vignettes of rumour and teaser you can give us?
It will be a social-based game. Okay. It's, I think, what we're good at doing. But yeah, so we've got other things that we're cooking up at the moment, and we still work on Buzz as well. That's something that we're still really passionate about, and there's an audience there for it. So
cool. And final question. One of the most exciting titles here, the one I'm looking for is Heavy Rain, of course, by David Cage. We're going to talk a little bit about basically the lecture that he gave, and we're going to talk a little bit about our impressions of the title from what we've played here today.
Heavy Rain is the upcoming title from video game industry pioneer David Cage, in which, from what we've seen so far, his recurring ideas of immersing the player into the story of the rich world being portrayed and the themes of love, retribution and trust take their next evolutionary step. The title is aiming to fundamentally change the landscape of narrative in gaming, and listening to the game's director speak at the Expo was as inspiring as it was fascinating. Cage spoke with a lot of passion for including choice and consequence in games, detailing how each scene of his latest title will be resolved differently according to how it is approached. He also talked about the real-life research he and his team conducted for the title, wanting to create a very realistic game, not just visually, which it very much is, but also artistically. Another element he focused on in the conference was that each character in the game was a real-life actor, and that using Hollywood talent had lent an air of authenticity to this gritty crime thriller. The trailer shown certainly backed this claim up, featuring some of the most convincing dialogue yet seen in interactive entertainment.
So, just a heavy rain, and it's pretty good. I've got to say, like, it's probably the most, it's probably like the most important game of probably this show, probably the next couple of years. It's really absolutely fascinating, and I suppose the most important thing about it is it really is like trying to push forward like narrative in gaming. It really gets you into the moment, and there's a great sense of tension when you're playing it. The game looks fantastic. I don't think it could be done on 360 in the way that it is at the moment. It was really interesting to hear him talk earlier, David Cage talk earlier at the conference, and he's talking a lot about narrative and art and basically getting forward a strong narrative. And I think he's going to succeed. And if it's anything to do with, if those two play levels that we've got at the moment, that we've got access to, for anything to go by, I think it's a really strong product. And there's problems, definitely. Like, I've got to say the control scheme is a little bit, it's a little bit confusing to begin with. Perhaps that's just because we haven't played through a tutorial at all, and we're in not the perfect environment to really be playing the game. The story it's trying to tell is really interesting, although it does work a lot on stereotypes, which maybe that's gonna ingratiate the player a little bit quicker. Maybe that's going to put some people off. I'm not entirely sure. And I think the other problem is that there are so many opportunities and so many different things that you can do. It's almost overwhelming. I found myself, I died in one of the positions, in one of the levels I should say, sorry, and died at the same place that a lot of people have been dying. And I have to say that, like, I basically then just repeated what I had done to get to that point. I didn't try to go a different way around the level, which is kind of odd. I don't know. I genuinely believe that this game could be really important and exciting and fresh when it comes out. Really impressed.